Good afternoon, north of 44 degrees. It's been a minute. I had to take a couple weeks off because sometimes life just punches you in the face and all you can do is deal with it. Anyway, today we're going to go over to the far side of the house and install the French Drain Man's single downspout gutter kit. It worked out really well. I actually shot this about 2 weeks ago. Took me about 2 hours to install. Really like the kit. I think that French Drain Man product is a really sharp product. So let's jump over there and get that done.
All right, so here we go. I had everything kind of staged in a single box in the garage, so gathering things up and throwing them in the back of the donk was a pretty easy task. So that's what we did. Got the shovels, got all the bits and parts. I did roll out the blue pipe in the driveway and let that start warming up. Spread the bits out on the ground, kind of where they were going to go. And starting at the house, kind of rough dug the trench. At this point, it's only, I'd say, probably 3 or 4 inches deep. You know, the line doesn't have to be perfectly straight. The ground, as you can see, kind of does fall away from the house here. So making sure it's a downhill run is pretty easy. Making piles that were easy to put back over the top later. Yeah, I don't remember if I think I kind of spent a little extra time where the center pipe was going to be. Total distance from the house, probably 15 feet, between 12 and 15 feet. I think it's 5 or 6 feet from the downspout to the catch basin, and another 5 or 6 feet from the catch basin to the emitter head. So that's what we did. The overall process, less than 2 hours. Total recording time for all this was right at an hour and 45 minutes. So start to finish, yeah, we'll call it 2 hours, which I don't think was too bad. It was a bit of a warm day, but things went pretty well. You can see here, I am taking a little extra time where the catch basin is and hogging out that area pretty good. This is just a rough placement. We'll make sure everything is fitted pretty well here coming up. Some additional cleanup on the trench. And you can see I am, going for the final depth, and I'm keeping this pretty shallow. It's only 3 or 4 inches below the surface of the ground. It is not super deep. I did try to keep the clumps of sod together. Was hoping to get those put back in place, so maybe we get some grass growing over this pipe here pretty quick. I would say that digging the trench is probably one of the more time-consuming parts of the entire process. Don't forget that the catch basin is completely sealed up, so you don't need to put any pea stone under it, and there is no tape on the elbow at the emitter valve. Alright, you can see here I've grabbed the blue pipe. It has been sitting out in the sun. It was a little bit warm. I did still have to grab a couple block that I had laying around, stretch that out. Uh, Certainly would be easier with two people, but not the end of the world. All right, because we know which way the elbow is going to face, we can tape up that catch, the leaf separator that attaches to the gutter. We can go ahead and tape that up all squared away. I am using tape very liberally. You don't get any rewards for saving tape, so I have probably 5 or 6 good rounds of it on. It's taped up pretty completely. Did start at the gutter with the final installation and work my way down. You can see there I have the landscape cloth. I did cut that into 2 pieces. One piece goes under the leaf catcher, and the other piece will go underneath the emitter. The bag of pea stone just came from one of the big box stores. I think it's a 30 or 40-pound bag. Put a good amount underneath, and then just kind of created a pocket for that leaf catcher to sit in. If everything's doing its job right, you won't get any overflow. I would say that putting the ground cloth, landscape cloth underneath that is kind of a belts and suspenders kind of thing. You'll only get overflow if you have trees and they tend to clog the gutters up. I do attach the hose without cutting it at all. You see there, I'm giving it a good couple wraps with the I think he calls it super sticky tape. It's butyl tape. It's a thin butyl tape. It is really good tape, but yeah. I did use that strap that is attached to the house to attach to the leaf collector, the leaf separator. So that is screwed in to the gutter system. I did pack the stone in very closely so that the stone does support the weight of all the bits and parts underneath. Tuck that landscape cloth in real tight as well. From there, I go ahead and secure that by adding some dirt on top. Once it's attached like that, I don't want it to move at all. So I do pack that in pretty good, and it holds everything still pretty well. Now it looks like I have the collector in position pretty well. Doing a little bit of final touch up here. Make sure it sits properly. I do want to make sure that it is below the level of the downspout. And to cut that blue pipe, I just use a utility knife. There's really nothing fancy about it. You don't need any special tools. one thing you do want to make sure when you're doing this is that you don't put a twist in that pipe at the collector that gives you some unusual tension or sets that collection basin in kind of at an angle. So be sure when you pull that thing out to tape that joint, that everything is square to where it's going to be in the ground. Don't tape it in a 10 or 15 degree angle. You'll be fighting that tension for a long time. A little bit of cleanup on the next section. That is a slip bit, a bunch more tape. The nice thing about that butyl tape is if you do get a little bit of dirt on it, it will not make a difference. It will hold together. And I do extend it probably 5 or 6 inches down the pipe. All right, knowing that I got the that first half in place pretty good, just locking it all in by putting that sand on it or putting that dirt back in the hole. So with that first half being covered up, that pipe's not going to move or get out of place at all. Too much farther beyond where I put that emitter valve, it does start to flatten out a bit, which is why I left that kind of up on the slope just a little bit. You can see there, no tape on the elbow. There's adding the pea stone. I use a lot more pea stone at the emitter valve than I do up at the leaf collector. And from there, it's just the final filling in that trench and getting it all cleaned up and looking nice. Putting the covers on the pop-up cover and the clean-out cover, and then making sure you have some dirt pushed up underneath to make sure all that stuff gets locked into place. On both those covers are pretty flush with the ground. I'm going to try to avoid running them over with the lawnmower, but if by chance that happens, I feel pretty confident that the blades are going to miss. I do keep the grass pretty long. With all the sand that we have up here, the water does not retain any moisture. All right, that'll do it. I'm just going to finish cleaning up the install, get all my garbage picked up and moved back over, and we should be good to go. Thanks for visiting. See you next week.
All right, one down, one to go. Kind of digging this. This one went really well. Pretty straightforward. I did curve that in so you wouldn't see them from sitting on the back porch. I'll do the same on the other side. Let's get going. We got another one to do.